Good morning. It is Monday, April 20th, 2020. Welcome to the Clugger and Coffin classroom. We're going to have a great week this week. Today we start a new letter book. You'll notice something different about our letter book today. We have two letters to learn. We're going to be learning K and Q in one letter book. You'll remember the sound of K is k, k, just like C makes k and CK makes k. K says K, Q. You'll remember that when we talk about the sound of Q, we always put our finger to our lip because Q is quiet. And we learn Q as QU. Qua, qua, k, qua. Let's start by looking at a couple of things that begin with the K sound. The first one is an animal that you might find if you venture to Australia. This is a koala bear. Koala begins with K. If you go down under, you might also see a kangaroo. Kangaroo begins with K. Kitten. Kitten begins with K. You might put this on a hamburger or a french fry. Ketchup. Ketchup begins with K. Some of you might participate in this martial arts sport. Karate begins with K. Karate. If you'll look right here in the center of this card, you'll see a king. This was King Henry VIII. King begins with K. And last but not least, Krispy Kreme donuts. Krispy Kreme begins with K. You'll notice it's uppercase K, and that's because it's a proper name. Krispy Kreme. The other sound we're going to learn is Q, and it's qua, qua. So we're going to look at some things that begin with Q sound of qua. This is a type of bird, and it's called a quail. Quail. If you have some coins, you might have a quarter or 25-cent quarter. We all know the sound a duck makes is quack. Quack begins with QU. This is the beginning of a quilt. Quilt begins with Q. Quilt. And last but not least, I have three pictures to show you. These are all queens. Queens. This is a very special queen. This is Queen Charlotte. You're going to be learning about Queen Charlotte. Later this week, I'm going to ask you to journal about Queen Charlotte. So you'll meet her and learn about her. Our city is named after Queen Charlotte. Queen Charlotte. All right, we're going to pick up our letter book, and let's turn to page 1 of our letter book. You'll see a nursery rhyme. This nursery rhyme may be familiar to you. I'm going to read the nursery rhyme, and I want you to move along as I tell you which picture to look at and see if you can follow along. Let's start with the first picture. Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 24 blackbirds baked in a pie. Picture 2. When the pie was opened, the birds began to sing. Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king? The king was in the counting house, counting all his money. Picture 3. The queen was in the parlor, eating bread and honey. Picture 4. The maid was in the garden, hanging out the clothes, when along came a little blackbird and snipped off her nose. I want you to go back and look at all of our illustrations of our nursery rhyme. And I want to see if you can find the following things. I want to see if you can find a quart of milk. Quart begins with QU. I want to see if you can find a kettle, warming up water. A kettle begins with K. I want to see if you can find a quill. And a quill is a bird's feather, and the bottom of it is hollow, and you can pull up ink and write with it. A quill starts with QU, quill. See if you see a kitten in our nursery rhyme. Kitten begins with K. See if you can find a set of keys. Keys begin with K. See if you can see a kite. Kite. See if you can find a quilt. A quilt. And then see if you can find anything else that begins with k or qua. Circle them as you find them. Now we're going to turn over to page 2, and I want to see if you recognize what this might be. It has a border. It's going to be all different colors when we finish it. This is a quilt. You're going to be coloring in a quilt. Your coloring key is on the side of your quilt, all the way around the border. You'll need 3 crayons. You'll need a red crayon, a yellow crayon, and a purple crayon. So get your red crayon, your yellow crayon, and your purple crayon. If you find an item that begins with K, you're going to color it purple. If you find an item that begins with qua, as in Q-U, qua, you're going to color it yellow. If it doesn't begin with either, you're going to color it red. I'm going to quickly go over the items that you'll see on your page, and then you have to decide, are you going to color it purple, yellow, or red? If it begins with K, as in K, it'll be purple. If it begins with qua, as in Q-U, it'll be yellow. And if it's neither one, it's going to be red. You're going to be coloring a bird. That's neither one. You're going to be coloring a kettle. Should be purple. Strawberry. Neither one. Should be red. Question mark. The question mark, yellow. Kite. Purple, right? Flower. Neither one. That should be red. Shoe. Neither one. Red. Kangaroo. Purple. Queen. Quack, quack, queen should be yellow. Quarter. Quack, quack, quarter should be yellow. Key. Key. That should be purple. Needle. Neither one. Red. Kiss. Kiss. Purple. Book. Book. Neither one. That one's red. Moon. Moon. Neither one. That one's going to be red. Quart. A quart of milk. That's a measurement. It's a certain amount of milk. A quart of milk. The quart of milk should be yellow. Ladybug. Neither one. Red. Pencil. Neither one. Red. Quilt. Quack, quack, quilt. Yellow. Hand. Neither one. Red. So when you finish, your entire page will be colored in and you will have made a quilt. Now we're going to turn to page 3. On page 3, we're going to be writing K, uppercase K. We're going to start with K. So I'm going to pull my board out so we can see how to write K. So the way we write K, it is 3 strokes, 1 straight line and 2 slanted lines. So the first straight line goes from red to green, straight line down, red to green. Then we're going to do a slanted line back, red to yellow. And then a third line, we're going to go yellow to green. And that is how you make uppercase K. Letter K goes down, slant, slant, down, slant, slant, down, slant, slant. Letter K goes down, slant, slant. That's the letter K. Okay, so on page 3 of your letter book, you're going to be writing uppercase K. Remember, 3 lines, 3 strokes. You can trace the dark ones with your finger and then trace the gray ones with your pencil. Remember, we always write letters in pencils. So today you're going to do pages 1, 2, and 3, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a great afternoon.